is Julie, and today I went for a ride on my checkpoint, which has tubeless tires. And then when I got back, I just wanted to tell you about stuff that happens on my ride. So today on my ride, come on in closer, I had a puncture in my tubeless tire. Can you come closer and just zoom up? You can see where it's a little bit shiny there, and there's some goo. You're easily able to tell where the flat puncture is. There's a bunch of goo on the back of my bike, and it's all over my seat bag. So I know that I've had a puncture. My tires held air really well, but I want to put some more Stan's fluid in it just to make sure that if it does happen again, that I have lots of fluid in there so that it seals up. So the tools you're going to need are your stands. Come on over here. I have a bike pump. And I'm putting a bag on the floor because I'm going to let the air out and I might make a bit of a mess. And I'm also using a Park Tool valve tool to get the valve stem off. So I'm going to bring my bike over here. Now I don't need to take the tire off to do this, but I am going to let all the air out of the tire. So you just want to loosen it. Press it so all the air comes out. Get it nice and flat. Actually, I think I will just take the valve core stem right off to get this out. Super fast. And because it might spray everywhere, I'm going to turn my tire around. There we go. The air is coming out super fast. Sometimes there might be a bit of goo coming out, so you may want to keep a rag handy. I'm going to step out, grab the rag, because I do want to keep this handy. So, now if you come in a little bit closer, over on this side, I'm going to take my stands. I cut the tip of it off already. This looks a little bit narrow, so I'm probably going to make a bit of a mess, but I'm just going to put the fluid back inside. I'm going to use my fingers to guide it. And I'm probably going to put the whole bottle in if I can get it to go in without making a super big mess. So it is going in right now, and some of it's coming out. Oh, I'm going to take a break. Wipe that up a bit. I'm just going to run it around so that the fluid goes around a little bit. And I forgot to put my bag underneath, so I will do that so I don't make such a huge mess. Okay. And for some reason, you can get a little funnel to do this to make it a little bit easier. So there are funnels available. They kind of look like a medicine needle too that you could use to do this. So it is going in now. And then depending on how you ride, there's different types of sealant. Mountain biking has a little bit stronger sealants that you can get. I like Stan's. I've used Bontrager as well. It is also good if your bike's been sitting for a while that you put some new fluid in there before you start your season. Because if it dries up, then you will have to take your tire off, get the old dry gunk out, and put in some new one. Okay. So it is still going in. For time's sake, I am going to pretend that that whole bottle's in there. And now I'm going to take my Park tool and put my valve core back on. It's a valve core remover. You need to have that if you're having tubeless tires. And tubeless tires are great. As you can see, I rode today. Rode right over top of something that put a flat on my tire. Now, I'm going to put air back in my tire. These back tires, since they're tubeless, I'm going to run them around 35. And it looks like I may have to reseat my tire because it came unseated. So now Maggie, if you look over here, you can show them where it came unseated. Right here. The tire popped away. So to reseat the tire, I'm going to blow it up until it pops onto the rim. Then I'm going to let the air out and do it one more time. And you will hear a pop when it pops back on. Yeah, it's not quite done that yet. There. So that pop means that the tire is reseated on the rim. It has to be seated correctly. If it's not, your goo is just going to fly out and you're going to still have a tire without air. Okay, now that that's seated on, I'm going to let the air out of the tire. Then I'm going to pump it back up again, this time to 35 psi. That I will run in the back. Go. Now I'm putting it to the weight that I will ride it at, the pressure. Still a little bit to go. If you're lucky to have an air compressor, you can do this a lot faster. But it's always good to have a really good pump to help you, and you gotta check your tire pressure before you go out for a ride too. Alright, almost there. And a couple more pounds and it'll be at 35. Okay. Top it off. And I'm just going to look for where the hole was and make sure that there's not any goo coming out of it. Besides the mess that I made, I can see that it's sealed up really well, and she's ready to roll.